Well, Sky, my name is Eric Davis. I think we've talked a little bit before, and I asked you to come on in and talk to me, and I appreciate you coming in and sitting down with me and talking. Um, so, uh, while you're here, what can you tell me about Walter and your relationship with him?
Um, well, I was working out one day in the Seabury Center,
Mm-hmm.
and we started talking. That's how we met. We've been on a few dates, but
Okay.
other than that, that's all I know about him.
That's all you know about him?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you probably know a little bit more about him, right? I mean, if you've dated him, you probably know a little bit about him, like where he lives and works and other things like that, right?
Well, we're not actually dating. We're just in the talking phase.
In the talking phase. So it's a budding relationship. That's what it is, or
It was.
it was. Okay. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you today is that during my investigation, several of the people I talked to, they provided me with information that said that your relationship with Walter was a little more than a personal relationship, that had a business component to it as well. Do you do anything about that?
Business partners?
Yes.
No, I don't know anything about
Okay.
that.
Well, it's my understanding that you assisted Walter in the processing of marijuana at his residence to be sold here on campus. You want to talk to me about that?
I wish I had something to tell you. I don't know anything about that situation.
Don't know anything about it?
No.
Why would these people tell me that if that wasn't the case?
Maybe they don't like me. I don't know.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's back up and switch gears here for a second. Okay. So it's my understanding you're a Berea College student, right? Okay. What year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay. So halfway down, halfway to go, kind of thing, right? So glass half full, kind of thing, right? Okay. So now it's my understanding that Berea College is a work-study college. Can you tell me about that? What's that mean?
Sure. I'm a TA
Okay.
for Gstr 110, and also I'm the shuttle coordinator for student life, so
Okay.
I'm very busy.
Okay. But your tuition at the college is free, right? Because you
Yes.
work there, right? And if you had to put like a number value on it, most people say it's around $100,000 education, right? It's like kind of like going to Harvard. I didn't go to Harvard, right? My education didn't cost that much.
Right.
Okay. So I would hate for circumstances that you could be in control of to get out of control, and you find yourself not being able to continue your career here at the college, or worse. So you want to talk to me about this?
There's really nothing else to say that I haven't said already.
Okay. Well, I would like to tell you that, and I know you had a relationship with him. It's unfortunate Walter's no longer here. I can't talk to Walter, okay? But if there is a drug business in the works, and you're one half of that business, and you're the one that's here in front of me, and Walter's not, I would recommend that you think about your future and your education, and that you work with me and don't find yourself in a jam and lose half your education.
Well, I don't know how else to say it. I have nothing to do with any of that.
Okay. Well, based on what I know so far, I think we're starting to get towards an area where I could look at writing up my case and going to a grand jury and probably getting a true bill for drug trafficking. And I would hate for you to end up in jail and kicked out of school. There's a lot of things that I can work with. There's a lot of things I can do, but I can't help you if you're in jail. So do you want to talk about your business relationship with Walter?
Well, there was one time he invited me over to his place. We were talking about the business that he's in, and he really wanted me to join, and I was kind of reluctant, but I liked him, so I was agreeing to do things that maybe I shouldn't have agreed to do.
Because you liked him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I get that. A lot of times we go out of our comfort zones to kind of please the people around us because, you know, that's just kind of human nature. So, and sometimes we run across people who aren't really good for us or in the long run, and sometimes we recognize that later. So, so what was his deal? What was he wanting you to do?
I'm not sure if I want to answer that.
Okay. Well, I think I already know what it is because I've been told about it, and I think it's easier if you come clean with me now. This is what they always refer to as that crossroads. It's kind of like a come to Jesus moment. So you can find yourself being quiet and in a lot of trouble, or you can find yourself coming clean with me, and we can process all that, and we can kind of work through it and get you through it. Walter's the drug dealer. Walter's the guy that's got himself killed over his illegal activity. I just want you I want you to tell me more about Walter and his life and everything that surrounded him, even if it involves you doing illegal activity, helping him sell drugs or do whatever. But I've got a death and I've got an investigation I have to do. I'm not here to get you jammed up. I just want the truth.
So before I answer this question, should I have a lawyer present?
I tell you what, lawyers just get in the way. Lawyers just slow things up. I think what you need to do is you need to think about what I said, and that you need to tell me what's going on. Tell me, like I said, Walter's not here. Tell me about your activity with Walter, and let me help you navigate through all this other stuff.
Okay, well, I would help him bag the marijuana, and I would do it in his apartment, which is off campus.
Okay.
That's the only role. I never sold, never did anything like that. I was just in his apartment bagging. That's all I did.
Okay. So he solicited you, propositioned you to help him, not to sell it, but just to help him get it packaged for sale. So, and where did he do most of his drug dealing at? Here on campus or just all around town?
I'm not sure. He wanted me to sell on campus, but I said I wasn't comfortable with that.
Okay,
So,
well, I understand that.
My only role was bagging in his apartment.
Okay.
Yep.
In a typical week, or how did he share his profits with you? Did he pay you like a factory worker for, you know, so much production, or did you get a check at the end of the week? I assume it wasn't a check; it was probably cash, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Always cash. I would get $5 for every bag that I prepared.
Okay.
So.
Can you kind of tell me how much in a week's time or a month time that you would typically make from Walter?
It's hard to tell. It would vary. I didn't know him that long.
Yeah.
We just met August.
Okay.
And this just happened beginning of September. So,
okay.
it
So
was only
a month.
about 3-4 weeks that I was doing anything for him. So.
Can you give me an idea of how much money Walter paid you over a 3-week period for bagging up all this marijuana to be sold?
I don't know, maybe $500.
Okay.
No more than $500.
Okay. So maybe 100 different bags of marijuana over a 3-week period that you did up for him to sell here. Okay. Okay. So tell me about his death. What happened when you heard about that?
I didn't know anything about it. First time I heard about it was when someone else informed me. So I have no idea what happened, who it involved. I know he was having some problems with 2 female customers. Don't know who they are.
Okay.
Don't know any names, no circumstances surrounding the situation. He just started acting weird, and now I'm stuck. I have no idea what's going on.
So he's having problems with, you say he's having problems with 2 females?
Yeah, 2 female customers.
Okay. They're customers.
Yeah.
Of his. Okay. All right. Do you know if they were selling drugs for him,
I have
or
no
are they
idea.
buying drugs from him?
He didn't privy me to any of that information. Yeah.
Well, here's again, and sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get stuff out of people. Here's what I would reiterate to you before, is that you know, you're holding back on helping him with the drug sales and everything else. I appreciate you being forthcoming with me on that. I think we can work through that, right? I would tell you though is that now that we've taken this step and that we're building trust with one another, let's not take a step back about the rest of the other stuff here. So I think you know more about Walter's issues or problems with his clients here, these two females, and I think there's some information that you can share with me on that. So I want to be able to tell my boss and the prosecutor that you were 100% cooperative and willing to help, and if they sense any type of reluctance or deception on your part, then I can't tell you what they're going to do to you, but it probably won't be in your favor.
I think once I established that I didn't want to be heavily involved, that's when he decided that he wasn't going to tell me a lot of information about what's been going on. So, officer, all I know is what I've told you about having problems with those two customers, and I don't know anything else about the situation. I'm just as confused as you are, to be quite honest.
Okay. Did you communicate with them today, the day of his death, or?
We talked that morning.
Okay.
It was weird because he called me,
Mm-hmm.
and we usually text, but I don't know, it was out of the blue. I figured something was up, but like I said, he didn't say much about the situation, and ever since then I've just been kind of left in the dark about what's happened.
Well, tell me about the conversation. I mean, it's typically it's out of the norm because he's called you at this point as opposed to sending you a text. So I feel like that must be really out of the norm there. So what was the gist of the phone call?
He basically just told me like, hey, don't go by the apartment anymore, and that was it.
Okay. Well, I mean, clearly that's where we ran into you at, was at his apartment there after the thing. So why did you go to his apartment?
At this point, I feel like you've been asking me a lot of questions, and I'd like to have a lawyer present.
Okay. Well, again, I feel like you have a lot of information that you probably want to get off your chest to help yourself out here.
I've told you everything that I know.
You've told me everything I know?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't want to tell me anything else about your business relationship with him and trafficking in drugs, and are you sure you want to go down this path? I can probably help you if you're good.
I would like to have a lawyer present before I speak any further.
Well, if that's your choice and you want to, for lack of a better term as we call it, lawyer up and not talk to me, then there's not a lot I can do. I mean, I'd be more happy to we can talk about getting you on here, but I mean, we can talk about some of your rights and things like that and see if you want to continue talking to me. I mean, if you want to go down that road.
We've been talking for a while, but
Yeah.
I guess I'll sign something now.
Okay. You should know your rights, okay? You may remain silent. Anything you do, say, may be used against you in court or any other proceedings. You have a right to consult an attorney before you make any statement or answer any question. You may have an attorney with you during the questioning. You may request a court to appoint an attorney for you if you cannot afford to hire one. You may stop the questioning at any time by refusing to answer any further questions or by requesting consultation with your attorney. Do you understand the rights I've explained to you?
I do understand.
Okay. Do you want to continue talking to me and we can get this silly form out of the way and signed off on real quick and keep talking about Walter?
Sure.
Okay.
I would like to have a lawyer present, though, from here on out.
Sure. Okay. Perfect. This form's pretty much a formality half the time, so Well, you said you don't want to talk to me anymore without a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we'll stop the interview now at this point, and you can call your attorney and you can get him down here, and then we'll go back to talking about Walter and everything else, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I appreciate your time.